Hello vinyl freaks, it's the Danish record hunter here. And in this video I will of course tell you about the second album by Charlatangruppen. And it's called Glimt fra Werners verden.
Et barn blev født under tvillingetegn. Hej hej vel mødt, man kan se du er blevet en dreng. En dreng får bryst, til han bliver for stor. Så må han finde trøst hos flasken og ikke sin mor.
So yeah, I enjoy the first record that they made. There's some great tracks on here, but the subject, as I also told you in my last video, it's a bit on the silly side. So when they created the second album, it's they really matured as a band. And to call this exactly a band, because I think still at this point it was pretty much like a studio project, because the musicians, there's some top class musicians from the Danish scene that appears on the album, but they were all parts of different bands. So at this point I don't think they were really like gigging with this lineup, but they would create a more stable lineup on the third album. So like on the first album, there was like a conceptual kind of feel to the record, because it's all kind of connected with the characters that is sung about, and this is more like prominent here on the second album, which is like a concept album. And what it deals with, it's pretty much deals with a man called Werner Brandt, and you follow him from when he's born. He's a kid going to school, and through education, tragedy, divorce, alcoholism. So you follow him from being the good man to the drunk, hopeless man that nobody cares about. And it's a very sad album, and I must say, after listening to this record so many times, that I still sometimes I'm a bit confused about the storyline, because it's like a Tarantino film, but worse. It's not chronological. There's like stuff suddenly that is sung about that happened way before, or maybe in the future. I'm not quite sure, but and how Werner, he becomes an alcoholic, that's not clear to me yet. There's many things in the album to me it's not quite clear, but one thing for sure is that all the songs on the album, it's kind of spellbinding in a way. The musicianship is top notch, and also there's something about the delivery, the feeling that I get from the lyrics, just everything brings it up to like a higher stage, where I don't have to understand the storyline as such, but it's more like the feeling, relatable feeling of each song that hits so hard. So I will not get more into the story. Let's get to the people who appears on the album, because here it's very interesting lineup. First off, we have two guitarists in the band at this point. So you have Niels Pontoppidan, and before Charlatangruppen, I know that he was in a jazz rock band that was called Blue Sun, and he appears on the first two albums. I have not heard the first Blue Sun album, because it's not available to hear anywhere, and it's very expensive to get the original copy, because it's also on Spectator. the label with all the expensive first presses. I know there is a compilation CD released via Karma Musik, and the whole first album and second album is on that one, so I'm thinking about getting the CD just to listen. The second guitarist that appears on the album, of course there's also Iben Horn from the first album, but he is not as present here. I remember he plays some guitar on one of the songs, but it's not something prominent. He was more like producing the band at this stage. And also in 1977 he was a member of C.V. Jørgensen, the Ganske Lille Band. So he was there just helping them out, and also he is on the band picture, or the picture of the lineup that is inside the gatefold. But the second guitarist that appears here, it's Peter Branner from Lisa. I already talked about those albums. He made this album just before I think he joined Charlatangruppens, and then this one is later on that he also appears on. So having two guitarists like Niels Pontoppidan and Peter Branner, you have some great guitar work on this record. It's tasty. There's like harmonies, beautiful harmonies that reminds me sometimes of what you would hear in a band like Wishbone Ash and Thin Lizzy. But of course, this is nothing like Thin Lizzy and Wishbone Ash when you talk about musical style. Of course, this is kind of progressive. It goes in different directions here and there, but sometimes it's like rocking, then it's like a ballad. You will never know what happens from one track to the next, because it's all about the feeling that they want to create in each song with the subject matter. And so you will hear some different stuff, but I think in a kind of way, when it's all connected, it's consistent. It wouldn't have been like that if it wasn't a concept album, I would say. So then you also have the rhythm section and keyboard player. It's from Egg. So you will have Sten Toft Andersen on bass, Gert Smedegaard on drums, and also the keyboard player Per Wirm. So they all appear on this album by Egg, Blå som altid, a masterpiece, and it's also from 1977, like this record. So you can hear that there's some very important Danish musicians appearing on this album. It's just so well produced and well put together. And like I said, even if you don't understand the storyline, then you will enjoy it for the musicianship and the feelings that they create with the lyrics. Like Thorstein Thomsen, he was really, a master in, telling stories, and you can hear that here. And also, he sings a bit more on this record than the first, and nice vocals from Thorstein Thomsen, and also nice delivery from Pia Dalsgaard, his better half. They are really, doing a great job telling the stories here. So what I would like to do now, like my last video, I will not go and talk about each song. I will just show you some samples from the different tracks that I like. So check it out.
Selvom vindene blæser som de vil, så lad mig blive en mølle på havets bed. Flugten griber vågen, bølger fra et spinkelt håb. Skummet regner på min hud, smelter som dit råb. Ja, solen skinner stadig, fordi den er et sted i mig. Skibet glider langsomt væk mod et hav, bort fra en kaj. Jeg sætter nok en gang til.
sige stop. Nu skulle han ud som langt de fleste Werner skulle ud og have et job.
If you liked what you heard, please man, check this album out. I will upload a vinyl rip of it, and also check out my next video talking about the third Charlatan, because we're called Charlatan on the third album. They quit Gruppen. So check out that album. I think it probably is just as good as this one. It's not as ambitious in, it's more like not as conceptual. It's more like the first record, but the musicianship on that one is just crazy. So please like my video and subscribe, and see you next time. Please take care and chill out.